Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of the Money Mondays podcast, where normally we cover these three core topics: how to make money, how to invest money, how to give it away to charity. But our guest is going to put a bit of a twist on that and talk about the importance of mental health and things that are going on with society, especially with men and what goes on in their world. And so I'm going to be weaving in money, finances, when someone gets rich, what happens to their world, their household, divorces, and situations. And he's going to talk about the things that are really, truly impactful to him and his world. As he's accumulated this large multifamily commercial real estate portfolio, he's pivoted and turned to something that's very important to him and what he's seen in our society. He's written a book about it. He's made his own podcast about it. And so we're going to dive deep into that. Now, as you guys know, these podcasts are super important to me because so many people grew up thinking it's rude to talk about money. It's ridiculous. We have to talk about money. You've got to be able to talk with your family, your friends, your employees, your coworkers about money because it's part of our daily lives. Money is not the root of all evil. Are there some evil parts to money? Maybe. But what we do know is money covers your medical expenses, your family, when your mom needs something, when your friends need something, when your kids need something, money is involved. So we got to remove this concept that money is rude or evil or any of those things. It is a tool, it is functional, and is important to your daily life. So without further ado, I'm going to have our guest give a quick 2-minute bio so we get straight to the money.
Okay. My name is Jarek Tadla. I'm immigrant from Poland. I moved here in 93. And it's funny that you talk about money. It's when you don't talk at home about money and that's how you will grow up, that's what's going to happen.
Sure.
You know, like people ask me, what is the reason that I accomplish, all the successes if it comes to, real estate and all the businesses I built? Because I always have zero emotional attachments to money. Zero. But people, it's like we think the money is something you got to work hard, you got to save. This is not true. And what happened is our parents and our grandparents and our grandparents, they didn't know any better.
Nope.
So it's our own, if you're listening to this, it's your own responsibility, accountability to break the curse and own it and talk about it. And the more you talk about it, and I'm not talking about like how much this goes, it's just having the awareness how to bring money and that you are the money, you are the value. Like I grew in communist country and the true money doesn't exist. Like you don't look at the account, it just wires from one account to another one. It's a virtual money and it's the services you provide. So in the communist country, everybody had money, but you couldn't buy anything. So what happened is if you were, let's say, mechanic, let's say I fix your car, and then you give me this and this instead. And that's what we do right now. You are the value. And the second you understand that your life will change.
What do you think holds people back? When let's going to focus on men a lot here because it's such an important topic to you. What do you think holds men back from becoming not just wealthy in finances, but wealthy in their household? Children, family, things that are going on in their world.
Then it's fear. It's fear. At the end of the day, it's funny that I talk about it. Is when you are in a comfort zone, which is for us men is the most dangerous thing. When you're so comfortable, you don't want to try the new things. You have a fear. If I fail, it means I'm not enough. If I'm not enough, I'm not loved. And even I'm not loved, that I'm the failure. And then people can use this against me. And that's the fear. So the second you face the fear and you go against the fear, that's what you break. And that's what you start developing new values, new businesses. And not only that, you start growing with inside. So that's the most important thing. But we have this, because I know you and I know money is an oxygen. We have access of it. But if you from the early childhood is like you have to work hard. I mean, yes, do you have to work hard? Brother, believe me, you do have to work hard. But you know what? If everybody who work hard right now, then all those people that we have, we would not have 3,000 billionaires. We would have 7 billion billionaires. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. You have to work hard and you have to work smart.
Yep.
And that's what you have to invest in yourself. That's what I'm big about, the inner wealth, not the outer wealth. Because the inner wealth, your inner wealth create your outer world.
So explain the inner wealth concept. What is the inner wealth?
People that's I'm big on it because here what happened is my whole life I was looking for validation from the outside world. So I was accumulating wealth, I was accumulating titles, I was accumulating diplomas, medals. So to get the kudos or get the validation from society that I'm good enough, that I'm loved, and get the applauses, it didn't work because in the same time my inner world was getting emptier and emptier and emptier until I cracked and almost committed suicide. So there's nothing out there that you can do without yourself, without building yourself. Because I'm talking about people, man, that are very successful right now. They have wives, like I have wives, I have kids, I have cars, I have jets, I have yachts, and by rules of society, I have absolutely everything. Sure. But I was empty on the inside because I was doing to prove everybody but myself. And it's very important to remember that your net worth and your self-worth are not the same. And I lost that. So anybody who's listening right now, so don't chase the money. Don't only do transactions. Look for yourself and build your inner world the same way you build outer world. But that will build you up.
What is your book about? What is your podcast about? Why did you go down this path?
4 years ago, 4 years ago, I got sick, and I thought I had a flu. 3 days became 4 days. Suddenly, all my symptoms left then, and I could not get out of the bed, and I couldn't understand. And then 4 days become 7 days. 7 days become 10 days. 10 days become 20 days. 30 days, and I'm going I completely hit bottom of the bottom. I made all my money during the low market in 2008 and 2020 and the COVID. And I'm sitting, I'm laying in bed, and I'm financially have absolutely everything. I'm healthy. Emotionally, I'm healthy. Mentally, I'm healthy. Spiritually, I'm healthy. Physically, I'm fit. I'm healthy. I have a good relationship with God, good relationship with my kids, I just found the love of my life. I have absolutely everything you can imagine. And I want to take my own life.
Wow.
Because for my whole life, for 50 years, I never took care of myself. I was doing everything for everybody, never me. And I completely broke down. And that's what I wrote a book. My book is called Not Enoughness, the Not Enough Voices. Because I was motivating myself by negative feedback. And that's why I was getting all the wins, the titles, the medals, the applauses, the stages. Even in the beginning with the social media, followers, likes. It's addictions. All the successful people then are addicts. Mm-hmm. But we used to use what we're doing right now on this podcast. We're using our addictions for the good, to help others.
Right.
But you can use also addictions. We could be right now in the bar and drinking, doing drugs, women, porn, hookers. We can do the same thing, but we're sharing our world to improve and do better. So that's my calling, to help men mostly. I don't understand women. I'm on my third wife. So clearly I don't understand women, but I understand how our man mind works, and we always want more. And they're never gonna be enough. We are, the way we are born and the way the human nature is, that we always want more. But what I'm stressing about, not more outside, but more on the inside. More faith, more belief, more resilience, more boldness, more love, more abundance. That's what and all the work on daily basis.
And then explain to us, what is the name of the podcast? What's the concept behind the podcast?
The name of the podcast is Mastering the Inner Wealth and versus Outer Wealth. And we talk about all these issues that, we're going through, the mental health, emotional, I'm big on emotional intelligence. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine I was 48 years old then, and I just realized about the oxygen mask at the plane. Mm. I would give the oxygen mask to everybody, even the pilots, and I'm the last one. And now I realize how important it is to fill your own tank, fill your own a bucket, and put the oxygen first, and then so we can help others. So build ourselves from within, and then build the the whole empire. But your body, you are the biggest asset. Without you, nothing happens.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you failing, even because it was like, because I was feeling, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good at jobs. I'm doing good at the sports. I'm doing good with the employees. But I'm failing inside. I feel like I'm the biggest loser. If I tell somebody, then if I open up, it's like, dude, I feel like a loser. I'm the last cause. It's like, nobody could relate to me. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you have everything. You have your life. Your life is going. People want to see you everywhere you come. You know, everybody loves you. But I don't love myself. I cannot take care of myself. Like, when I'm alone, I'm freaking miserable. I'm again with my own thoughts. And the thoughts I start believing. And those thoughts become my identity. And I completely crushed. Can you imagine? No drugs, no alcohol, having absolutely everything, sober for years. Because you know how people say sometimes the drugs or alcohol just brings, you know, the sedation?
Sure.
I was sedating my entire life with work. I worked 22 hours a day. Like, you know, I was like falling asleep at the desk and woke up and keep going back to work. And then everybody, oh my God, like he's so successful. So everybody was like, yeah.
Right.
Dude, if you see how much I work, and not only hard work, but you know, the work ethics, and also how smart I work, I always try to learn new things. And then I start sedating with workouts, doing races, Ironmans, and then and everybody, oh my God, he's doing it. Oh my God, he's so fit, he's winning, he's a blah blah blah. When I pick up alcohol, after 3 months, my family, Jarek, we gotta sit you down. I think you have a problem. I'm like, really? How do I have a problem? Why you never drink? You're drinking too much lately. Really? Are you escaping something? I've been escaping my entire life. And nobody noticed, but nobody noticed because I'm doing for the good.
Right.
And suddenly when you do for the bad, you know, it's like, whoa, we got to talk about it. But at the end of the day, we as a man, we have to face our own demons. It's nobody can tell you. You got to go in and just figure it out, like, and work on your childhood wounds. Or like, what is the reason I'm doing? Is this the reason to get validation, or this is the reason just is within me? And finding the purpose. You know, God find us. You know, we got here created by God, and we on this earth to serve. We're not entitled to anything, you know. You know, you hang out with men, it's like, yo, I work so hard. They complain about the wife. They complain about the kids. They're running away after work. Let's go for happy hour. Brother, well, I'm entitled. I work too hard. It's like, dude, brother, we're not entitled to anything. You know, we got here. We are lucky that we are born, that we are alive. We wake up every day. You know, we're here to serve and help others, and mostly even family, the loved ones. But it's got to start within. It's got to start with you. You got to love yourself. You got to fill the bucket. You got to take care of the faith, the resilience, the boldness. It doesn't come from anywhere. If you start breaking promises, the little promises, if you're going through the hard time right now, in business, in relationship, with kids, anything you're going through and nothing works, start little. Start the little things. Just, you know, like I have a conversation with my son. It's like, Dad, I hate to read. I'm like, and I read a lot, And I was like, read 1 page a day. Sure. In 1 year, you're going to read 365 pages. Mm-hmm. Just little things. It's compound effect with everything. And the same thing happened with the bad stuff. It starts with the 1 drink. With me, then the 2 drinks. Right. Then I drink. I drink only on weekend. Then I'm a weekend alcoholic. And suddenly I drink 7 days a day. Right. The same thing happened with my pain. Like I'm laying in bed 40 days. I want to take my own life on the boat. And I'm like, where is all the pain coming from? I was putting everything on the carpet. And suddenly the pain was growing and compounding, and the whole thing just blew up on me. So the little things to break the new patterns.
So as people start to have children, they start to build up their lives, why is the investing side important to help build generational wealth? Why is it important to think about their kids and their grandkids?
That's a good one. You know, my entire life, I built everything because I want to give the kids all the, you know, my will, everything. Yeah. And that's a good question. And the only thing I want to give was inheritance. Nothing else. There was no legacy. We all men want to leave legacy. Giving the materialistic things, it's like the buildings, the cars, the jets, the yachts, businesses. This is inheritance. And usually we ruin the children. What we got to leave is a legacy. And a legacy is all the emotional intelligence, all the faith, all the resilience, all the integrity, all the values that it stays from generation after generation. So it's not what you leave for them when you leave. It's what you leave within them. So they can take, because it's like, we have a lot of wealthy friends. You know that. And then it's like, Jarek, how do we build the hangar with the kids? No, we don't. Look I'm getting goosebumps. No, we don't. Our kids were spoiled from the beginning when they were born. We were successful. How are we going to build the hunger? I was a dishwasher. I was broke as hell.
Yep.
Dude, now, oh, wow, he's got $1 billion real estate portfolio. Dude, I was a freaking dishwasher. I was hungry. My kid's never going to have the hunger. Your kid's never going to have the hunger. Ever. So what is our job? Not to give him more. To teach him how to use the resources. Teach them emotional intelligence. Teach them how to use all this stuff, the values, the integrity, the relentless, the boldness, to teach them how to apply in life. That's our freaking job. Not the hunger. They're not going to have it.
Right.
They're not going to have it. Look at your daughter. How old is she now?
13 months.
13 months. I have 5 kids. They never see.
You're not going to wash
They don't
dishes.
know. They fly on the private jets, go to Mediterranean jets, yachts, houses. Come on, brother. But I got to teach him, and not only me, we as a man, as a humans, we got to teach him how to be good human, how to have a faith, how to be resilient, how to use all those resources that we have and grow it instead of ruin it. By giving somebody, if you give anything to somebody, you do a lot of seminars, right?
Oh, yeah.
Here's a question for you. Did you notice the people that are there, that are paid for the seminar, they like...
They pay attention.
They pay the one that pay.
People that pay attention.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, it came out of my pocket.
Sure.
I pay $500 for the seminar, $1,000, $2,000. If I pay $500 for a seminar, I want to be upfront next time with $5,000.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Those people that got paid for it because the employer required them to do it, or they got it. Dude, they everywhere. They're on the phone scrolling. They go
in the hallways.
They don't care. But we have to teach our kids. That's what the legacy is. That's what we got to leave them. Yes, do we want to have them life easier? But we want to make sure not too easy, so that because
They go to the real world at some
the
point.
real world, because we got to help them to find the purpose,
Yep.
the fulfillment. Tony Robbins is like, it's big idol of us and friend of ours. What he always says, success without fulfillment is ultimate failure, right? That's what he says all the time. And that's true. And that's what we got to teach our kids. Not by giving, brother.
So that was
We are here to give. Don't tell me I'm huge about giving, because I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to go now.
Yep.
I'm huge about giving. But we cannot just give and like expect nothing.
So we are on the charity portion of the podcast. Why is it important for the children, the wives, the husbands, etc.? Why is it important for the family household to have some type of charity component or some philanthropy involvement, whether they're donating money, time, or energy?
Brother, giving is living. That's what we're doing right now. Giving is living. And I can tell you, it's nice to write a check, but it's also nicer to give your time and give your energy, start it from the beginning, start from the little things. And I'm, like, you make me, like, when I think about charity, like, like you huge, brother, like you my idol if it comes to charity and all the stuff you do with with the toys and everything else. And you're like, maybe I don't do enough.
Right.
And then I started the stupid comparison game.
I'm not doing enough.
Exactly. I started the comparison game. But charity, and I love how you said it. It's not only money; it's your time and energy.
For sure.
And you got to do it from the beginning, because I love how people say, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna give when I make 100 grand. I'm gonna give when I give $1 million. Brother, if you're not giving when you have a 10 grand or
Exactly.
a grand,
Yep.
you're not gonna give it when you have $1 million, and you're not gonna give when you 10 million.
Right.
But I notice there's time and energy is a lot more valuable, especially with the kids and wives, and even with yourself, than just writing the check. Because to me, it's like writing the check, I did it. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't like the time, energy wasn't given. So I think all those three components got to be connected in order to feel it. And the more you give, the more you receive. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I have a friend that was going bankrupt. And it's a true story. And he was lending money to give it away. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. And he goes, Jarek, the more I give, the more I'm going to receive. He got out of the rat hole that he was in, in the bankruptcy and everything else in less than 2 years.
Wow.
Giving is living.
So there's only one question I ask on every single episode. And so for 200 episodes, I've asked this one question. It's the only repeat question. I've never gotten the same answer. And I'm for sure not going to get the same answer right now. You built up this $1 billion portfolio, and it's going to end up being $2 billion or $3 billion over the course of time. You have these 5 children. At what percentage, at the end of the day, do you leave to those kids? It's tough, right? I've heard 0, I've heard 100%, and everything in between.
If you know what? Then if you ask me that question 10 years ago, I would say 100%. That's what I'm doing this for.
Yep.
Like we discussed before, we talk about the difference between legacy and inheritance. I can tell you as of right now how my will is written. Okay? My kids getting percentage, I'm going to have a lot of haters here. They're getting percentage. They start getting the percentage after age of 33.
Okay.
And that's a minimal percentage. They're getting right to vote, to sell, to do anything at age of 55.
Interesting.
Because I know how stupid I was when I was 20, 25 or
Sure.
30.
Yeah.
So it's really spread. And hopefully by that time, the emotional intelligence, the readiness, the faith, they understand the principles, their life experience is going to give him the opportunity to use it wisely.
Yep.
Because the reason I changed then is, can you imagine like being my kids my age was like knowing that I'm covered?
Right.
I'm covered.
Right.
From 2010 to 2018, I retired so many times. And truly having nothing to do for being a man, having nothing to do. The only responsibility, accountability I have is to wake up, take a dump, brush my teeth, take a shower, take my kids to school, pick them up, take them to activities. I was miserable. When you do not have any responsibilities, because you cover financially, you don't go through the pain, through the struggles to figure out how you don't take advantage of the life that God gave us. That's when you fail. So we gotta prepare our kids to go through life and enjoy life. I know we want to protect our kids. I know we want to give them everything that I didn't have. Don't give your kids anything you didn't have. Give your kids the knowledge that you didn't have. Give your kids the awareness that you didn't have. Give your kids the consciousness that you did not have. The faith, the belief in themselves, the love. That's what we got to give to our kids, not the money. And I'm not saying money is the root of evil. I'm not saying that. Do the money make you happy? Absolutely not. It buy you time. It buy you opportunities. Not opportunities we created, but it gives open a lot of doors. But I keep saying that. Then if you're a douchebag, you're going to be a bigger douchebag. Mm-hmm. If you're a good human being, the money just amplifies it. But it's nice that the journey to get to the level, to accomplish the money, It's not the destination. It's just the game. That's what the enjoyment of life is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you were on my podcast. Remember when you said the story about poker, like, all the website closed, and then in 2 hours, like you lost like
$65 million.
$65 million in 2 hours. Yeah. And can you imagine like develop this mindset?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it didn't come from here. It truly came from here. You were creating, you're building your subconscious mind, because this is our conscious mind. This is our subconscious mind. So what happened when you hit something hard, you were like, shit, God, okay, what next? Let me figure it out. And you're ready.
Yeah.
You did not become a victim. And you were sitting at the table 2 hours later. It's like, shh. And you were still giving. Yeah. And what happened is like you were giving. And that's the same thing in life. So there's no right or wrong answer. I don't think there's right or wrong answer.
No, for sure not.
At whatever level of awareness, consciousness you are, that you're gonna figure it out. And even if you make a mistake, like, then how many mistakes we make?
All the time. It's part of the process.
Right? That's a part of the process.
Because we're making a lot of decisions.
Yes.
You make 100 decisions, some of them are going to be mistakes.
Yeah.
Most people don't try to make decisions.
And that's what people ask me, what is my superpower? And I always say, making decisions. Because I'm not scared to make a decision, because I can tell you, even if I make a decision, I can make a decision right now. By the end of the podcast, my decision might change.
Sure.
Oh, that was stupid. And then I pay for it. But our decisions, we are so quick with making decisions, so the mistakes are bigger and bigger. But we're still going. We know we're going to adjust, adapt, and execute. And that's who we are.
So for many years, you were a part of Tony Robbins' group. With
23 now, 25.
23 years?
Yeah.
You might be the longest running.
Dude, I know Tony.
Come on.
Tony was broke. Like, Tony didn't have anything.
That's amazing.
Dude, 2002, I think I went to his event in California. In California, that was the first event. Long time.
And
years later, he did. 5 years later, he did the first business.
The big conference?
Yeah, the business conference.
And then we got to spend time together. He created the Zenith Mastermind. It's $250,000, $250,000 to join a group like that. Talk to us about investing in yourself. Why do you like to be part of his group for 23 years? Now with Zenith, et cetera, with Dean Graciosi. Why spend so much money and time and energy to invest into yourself?
You know what? And this is not. And this is for anybody, even for if you're 18, 14, 15, 20, 25, 30, whatever you're at. You are your biggest investments. There is nothing better in the world than you. You are the only one out of 8 billion people, and you always have to invest in yourself. When people ask me what is the best investment, you, me, you always got to invest in yourself and can never, ever stop. So we are the biggest investment because we are the value, and we the value that we bring. So if you stop investing in yourself, then you stop growing, you stop evolving. And I did that. I told you, between 2010 and 2018, and I was miserable. Like having, absolutely zero drive, because I didn't have to.
Yeah.
And you have to build your value by, and let me tell you a story. Like, I was the smart kid out of all my siblings, and my parents always wanted me to be a doctor. I'm like, I'm not gonna be a doctor. I don't want to be learning my entire life. How stupid was that?
Right.
We're gonna learn. We're gonna invest in ourselves all the time.
For sure.
And the more you invest in yourself, the more you bring the awareness and consciousness level goes up. You change your patterns, and you start opening new door, and you start connecting with better quality people. That's why you constantly have to invest in yourself to grow your value, to grow your awareness, so you can connect and open more doors. I think there's no bigger investment than ourselves.
Absolutely.
Forget the real estate, forget the stock options, forget the businesses. We wouldn't be sitting here if we did not spend, and people, not only money. It's not only money. Because for us to write a check for $250,000 is like nothing. Like, but how do you find the time then to go meet with all those people, go on those events 3-4 times a year, you know, in the middle of all the chaos, all the stuff. And this is not the only one. There's like a lot of groups. Like we do this 24/7.
Yep.
And then in the middle, we still run businesses. We still run family.
Right.
We still run everything. How do you find time? You do. You figure it out. But you gotta, it's, you know, like I have every day then, I have a date with Jarek.
I love that.
I spend the time with me. My office knows everybody, knows nobody talks to Jarek, nobody touches. And this is the hour that I have with myself. I don't run errands. I don't do anything. I truly spend myself with me, sitting, you know, meditating, praying, just going through everything, me and myself, no, as zero distractions. So I can invest in me, invest with how my inner dialogue goes, you know, how my thoughts are going and everything else. And just, I mean, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, with connection with God, you constantly need to fill the bucket, because the fuller the bucket is, the more you give.
Yep.
And then the people kind of like, you know what I mean?
Gravitate towards you.
Gravitate towards you.
All right, guys, I think you can feel the reason for this episode is investing into yourself and your body, your mind, your soul, your spirituality, the things that he's been talking about. That is the butterfly effect. If you become a better person inside for yourself, you're a better husband, a better father, a better leader, better at everything in your world once you invest into yourself. If you are deeply depressed, if you're going through hard things, make sure to check out his book, check out his podcast, and really try to grasp that what are other people doing out there to help themselves fill their buckets? What are they doing to invest in themselves? How do they get through the hard times in their personal lives, their careers, their divorces, their marriages, their children? There's so many aspects that go on in our worlds, and we just don't talk about it enough because we feel like it's the same concept of it's rude to talk about money. Sometimes people don't want to talk about hard stuff, but hard stuff is part of our daily reality. So I appreciate you guys listening. Again, this isn't just for you. It could be people from your past, present, and future that should listen to this episode. Check out his book, his podcast, and everything on social media, because you might be able to change someone's life just by pointing them in the direction of someone that's been through a lot of hard times in their world and still have built this impressive career along the journey. So listen to us on themoneymondays.com. Share with your friends, family, and followers, and we'll see you guys next Monday here at themoneymondays.com.